Hello, my friends. Welcome back to another session of my financial predictions. We have the cryptocurrency charts that I made for April. Today is the 20th of April. We are basically around 10 days until the month is over finally. And it's been a very volatile month, like I told you, like I predicted, even some of you who got access to the monthly charts, you guys know that was to be expected. And we got an extremely volatile day today, massive jump, just like I predicted, guys. Look at this. I told you 19 or 20. One of these days, we were going to see a very powerful green movement, a very powerful impulse. I also told you in my last videos that there was more likely to happen on the 20 because it was fully green. Okay, there was no yellow, no red, no other color contesting that green energy for that day, for this day. And we got a full on impulse. Now, there is a potential of having a consecutive green day tomorrow, maybe, just maybe. It's not guaranteed, but it could happen. In any case, we can see possibly another very powerful green day on the 24th. It could happen maybe even earlier, around the 23, but that day is looking like it's going to be more volatile and it could bring some undecidedness, right? So it could have some corrections, actually kind of powerful corrections at some point during the day for the 23. So I'm more sure about the 24, but anyways, these days are going to be possibly very volatile and rewarding. In any case, that's if you're either going short or long on perpetuals, it's going to be possibly very profitable days. In fact, I just told you guys, I've been telling you that it's going to start a nice period of days where we're going to see basically very nice profits if we do our trading right. And I told you that period of days will start right here with this green box, 19 or 20. So we got this powerful volatility today. The rest of the days, especially for Bitcoin, were basically in a range, mostly in a range. For example, the 18th of April was kind of in a range, except for the last hours where it kind of jumps a little bit, but this is very small. The 19th, basically another range day, nothing really much change on that day, which was possibly the outcome for that day because yellow, okay, the yellow circle always represents either volatility or range. So it's kind of hard to tell sometimes, but that's why I always go for when it comes to volatility, I always go for the high volatility signals, which is when we have a day shared by opposite energies, or when we have a box right here, the 1920 box. So yeah, that's basically the outlook for Bitcoin. Now, Solana, for example, has been doing really good, but I don't really have any coverings of Solana this April, so I'm not going to even bother about talking about that cryptocurrency. It just happens to be the one that I use the most because of the meme coin trading. But yeah, anyways. So for the next days, like I told you, expect more volatility and possibly some kind of relaxation around the 25. After that could come possibly one of the worst crashes. It could happen either on the 26, 27, but at the same time, there's this yellow box, which is the last box, which basically tells me that some of these days will be very volatile, 28 or 29. And because it's on yellow, it's not clear whether it's going to be an impulse or a downtrend. So because of the period of days, I'm thinking it could be more like a correction. But there's still room for even higher levels. In fact, one of my last videos, I told you that one of these days on the green box, either this one on the 1920 or the 2224, one of these green boxes was basically going to return us back to the peak that we saw on April. And that's basically exactly like I told you. So you can see with your own eyes, especially the ones of you who keep supporting me via paid predictions, and the ones of you who have been very supportive of my work, and I have shared some other information with you. You guys know that, like, literally, with no exaggeration, my trading signals are the best in the world. Okay, no one else has this, because if they had, we will know already, and we don't. We only have testimonies from scammers, from people who claim to be 100% accurate, who claim to be 80% accurate, 70% accurate, whatever, and it's just absolute scam. So here I am, like the only one bringing this information to you for free, for absolutely free. You don't have to even pay a single penny for this information. I always do this monthly. Now, if you want more specific predictions, if you want more specific knowledge, more powerful knowledge, trading signals, you will obviously have to pay for that. But you can see that I am very generous with the content that I am bringing to you, because these trading signals are extremely profitable. I mean, every single day I completely nailed it. I think it was only one day, maybe. I really forgot which one was. There's basically, out of the 20 days of April, 19 are basically correct. So imagine the profit that you can make just by following my trading signals. Okay, so let alone my extremely powerful trading signal like the monthly prediction or like many other stuff. So yeah, that's all I have for Bitcoin. Now let's take a look at XRP. So XRP has been trending in range mostly for basically most of the days, whereas Bitcoin was slightly more active. For example, you can see a very clear and very plain range on XRP. Starting actually since the 16, but the most boring days were all from the 18 to the 19 and parts of the 20. You can see it's basically like a straight line, basically no movement at all, no, absolutely no profits to be made on these days. So that was the case for XRP. XRP tends to be more in range when whereas other cryptocurrencies like to go very volatile, but at the same time, when XRP goes volatile, it goes absolutely very strong volatile. So you can see we got a green day today, right here on the 20, but this is nowhere near as big as the one we saw with Bitcoin. Okay, from the starting position, we're talking about only 2%. This is nothing for XRP. For example, let's compare this movement to the crash that we saw on the 6th of April that I predicted. Look at this, 24%. And let's take a look at this jump right here that we saw on the 9th of April. It's 8, 9, 20% almost. So this 1, 2%, this is nothing. And this is also why you need to watch my predictions, all of them, because maybe something you'll notice is that many of the days correlate with all the cryptocurrencies, okay? But you notice also that some days have key differences. For example, I told you in the case of XRP, 20 was not in a box. You can see it's missing in a box. It's in a circle, in a green circle, but it's not within a box. The box always represents stronger movements. So that's what we didn't saw, a really very strong movement today on XRP, whereas Bitcoin clearly shows that. Okay, there's all these key differences that you need to pay attention. Okay, and for the people who are new to this channel, who always ask me what kind of indicators I'm using or whatever, guys, I don't use any indicators at all. Okay, I cannot teach you this even if I wanted to, because this is my ability to predict the future. When I say the future, predict the future, I mean everything, not just finance. I started doing this like a year ago, and ever since I started this channel, I have been showing you nothing but complete proof of my extreme levels of accuracy. So this is no joke, this is no edits or modifications or whatever. So yeah, basically to finish this XRP chart and basically the video, What comes next will possibly be a green day tomorrow, very good for XRP potentially. But after that, we see possibly more range. It will continue going 22, 23. 24 is the day that I see to be the most active out of these 3 days because of the box. And this doesn't mean that all these days will be in range. Maybe one day will be a surprise. But otherwise, I really think I will skip trading these days, 22, 23 especially, because they don't really bring any clear signals for major profitability, major movements. So I'll possibly wait just until the 24, but around the 25, 26, we're going to see corrections. And the last box is a red box, 28 to 30. So be very wary, be prepared if you're trading in XRP because these days will be very volatile. But anyways, it's basically almost 10 days from today, so it's kind of useless to talk about these days. Anyways, that's all that I want to share with you. Again, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.